a.m., and we're glad to be here with each of you. Sitting across from me in his own virtual studio is none other than Bishop Dwayne David Royster.
And sitting across from me is the Reverend Dr. Mark Kelly Tyler.
And, as we say every day, the glue that holds it all together, right there in studio, punching buttons, and I don't know. I kind of just imagine that's what like engineers and producers do. Maybe it's all automated. She could just like speak to it, turn on this. But anyway, it's none other than the queen herself, Kawesa.
Good morning.
Salutations. How are you today?
Doing well. How are the both of you?
Good. Appreciate all the energy. It's kind of forcing the energy out there. I can feel it. It's sort of like, yes, how are you doing? Yes, I'm not going to act like I'm tired by any means, but I'm going to push it until I get it out.
Yeah, basically.
Tell us about your ride today.
Not too bad. There really was, there was a little traffic, but not as much as it was the other day. So that was good. It's just, again, that mug factor, that muggy kind of, feel out there. But I will say that it hasn't felt, even though it's warm, it hasn't felt like as hot as, it's been in the past. So, I'm okay with it. It's comfortable. I will say that folks should look out for those, what are those things called? Those spotted lantern fly things.
Yeah.
Because they're like at least over here, they're all over the place. I just keep seeing them pop up. I'm just walking, mind my business, and it just, right in my face. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, keep a lookout for those. And if you see them, kill them.
Do they do anything special? I mean, what do they just eat the trees?
They destroy crops and kill trees.
Yeah, they're like locusts.
Yeah, they really are. They're bad news bears. So, but they're kind of large. Some of them, you know how I feel about large bugs. So they'll just keep flying. I'm not killing them. They're
Understood.
too big.
Understood. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kawesa.
Of course.
Kawesa just said, kill the bugs. We're going to get some... It's a hate mail for that one.
Kawesa, do you kill bees too, or are you okay with bees?
I don't, like bees, but bees are, of course, they pollinate. They're. Yeah. I don't think that bees are vicious or anything like that. I mean, I have been stung in my life. It was not pleasant, but at the same time, they only sting if they have to. And I stepped on it by accident. My foot was bare, and I stepped on it, and But I don't have a problem with bees per se. It's just big, like big bugs. It's not like one, I can't say like, oh, this one particular bug freaks me out. It's when they're like larger than a quarter. I have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with ants or anything?
Nope, no problem with ants. I mean, I'll kill them. Flies, not a problem. It's the really big bugs that look like, woodland creatures. I can't do that.
I understand. If it has a face and it can see you and you can look at it, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Problem.
Right? Yeah,
it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Woodland creatures. All right. So if you all see any woodland creatures out there this morning, it depends on where you are. You never know.
That's right.
Looking up at the skies, if you see it's kind of hazy, that's just me saying, welcome to California, because apparently those are that's the smoke from the wildfires in Cali.
Yeah. How come, after all these years, how come your state can't get it together with terms of, getting these wildfires out?
Well, I mean, we got it together. Who said we didn't have it together?
Well, the smoke is coming all the way across the country. I mean, it's
right
it's
away from us.
I mean, like, why can't they get the fires out? That's what I'm saying.
Right. We blow it away from us. It's together. The smoke goes
the plan.
west.
Is that what you're implying? That's the plan.
Before it goes around the world, it just runs out. So yeah, that's the plan. So that's how we keep it sunny California by infecting the rest of the country.
Gotcha.
So
the rest of us out, but yes.
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
I got you.
So if you're on Facebook Live this morning, hit the share button, come into the conversation, or you can join folk like Catfish Billy over at YouTube and join there into the conversation as well. Glad to see folk like Mabel and Robert. Greg Brinkley, what's up? Wanda Hunter, Kathleen, Tracy. Glad to see Kanisha in the house, as well as Deborah, Gary, Bishop, Peggy, and others as well. Hit the share button, as said. Bring others into this important conversation. So a lot to cover this morning, believe it or not, on a Wednesday in July. But how about we start here with this crazy story? You know, again, we continually talk about the attempt to rewrite history and, you know, things like, oh, there was an insurrection. It was just a peaceful group of tourists who just happened to killed a few people on the way. But I mean, you know, when has that never happened to anybody on a tour? Never. Anyway, in Missouri, just so you all know out here in Philly, it is not pronounced Missouri. It is pronounced Missouri. And go to Missouri and they will tell you that quickly. I lived there as a pastor in my first church. And in Missouri, I'm not surprised to hear this story. We think our legislative assembly is acting up in Pennsylvania, and they are. We got to talk about them and their voting shenanigans as well this morning. But in Missouri, their state legislature wants to get rid of critical race theory, or I think they should just call it something new, like, you know, like the correct version of American history. American history right now, as it's written, leaves out a lot of important facts, right?
Right.
Like George Washington's teeth were not made from wood; they were made from
slave
teeth. Exactly. His enslaved people's teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really Martha, because she was the baller. Martha was like, George, you married up. Don't ever forget it.
Right.
They had a hearing to discuss critical race theory in Missouri, and they kind of forgot one important group.
Yes.
Not a single Black person, according to this story on theroot.com, was invited to testify about critical race theory.
Not one.
That is so, let me just say honestly, honest to God, after I lived in Missouri for that long, that is like so Missouri. And they're probably wondering like, well, what's everybody upset about?
Especially since critical race theory was written by Black people. Just, you know, just the study of it. If you're going to have an expert testify, you should get somebody that wrote the theory and the idea of the theory, introduced the theory. Just thinking it might be helpful. Who testified? That's what I want to understand.
Well, it was an invitation-only hearing, by the way.
Yeah, we've dealt with those before.
Oh, we sure have. And so they just felt it was okay not to invite Black people.
Wow. Did they? Yeah, that's tragic. Absolutely tragic, and not surprising.
So this was basically like the Fox News version of a hearing.
Yes, it was Fox News, I'm sure.
Version. I mean, well, because you just bring in the critics of it, and you're not gonna. So it's not even an attempt to even play like it's going to be balanced. It's just, hey, it is what it is. According to the committee chairperson, she said that, you know, this was an attempt to lift up the voices of the critics of critical race theory, and so therefore. I mean, come on now. You could have found a few Black folk out there. I'm sure that, you know, what, Candace Owens was not available.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
why?
we should try to get her on the show at some point.
With Candace Owens?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that when I'm on vacation. I'm sure Kuwais is probably saying the same thing. I don't even know why you would want to do that to yourself.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so, you know, here's the thing. You know, watch this. I'm going to do something really smooth here. So, you know, I learned in debate that you have to understand both sides of an argument to be able to fully make a decision. Like the two sisters that won the Harvard debate tournament. There you go. Boom. There it is.
Oh, when did they do this?
They actually won over this last few days. It's a special summer Harvard debate tournament. and two black females as a team together from Atlanta are the first female duo to ever win this particular tournament.
Wow. And so a black woman won, black girl, teenager won the spelling bee.
Yeah.
I'm talking about won the spelling bee, and now this. There's going to be a demand for a recount in an audit.
This is why everybody's fighting critical race theory, because black women are starting to win everywhere, and they don't know how to handle it.
They're going to be like...
They can't handle it. Too many black women winning.
We need a recount. Stacey Abrams was in there.
I appreciate it. So I just have to say, and notwithstanding the conversation about what's happening with Missouri, but that is white racists being white racist. My first major debate tournament that I ever participated in was in Harvard. Not this exact same one. The one I went to was during the fall, but this one's during the summer that they have now. But I debated at Harvard, which is the reason why I went to college in Boston, because my first tournament was up there, and I wanted to go to school in Boston after spending time up there. And I went there for the next couple of years for a debate tournament every year. It was really powerful. And very excited about these two sisters that won this tournament. One's 16, one's 17. They're from the Atlanta area. They were recruited especially for this program. There's a whole week-long training program for them to be involved in debate that was founded by Harvard's debate coach. And there are students from all across the country. It's not just black students, but the students from all across the country that are recruited to come there, learn debate, and then they have a tournament as a result of that. And they went undefeated.
Wow. That's amazing.
The best minds, best young minds across the country, and bring them to this tournament, and they went undefeated. So it was actually a really great piece. They were debating about NATO and supporting the Balkan states, and really just very proud of their efforts to win and to do the right thing, and to show black girl magic. And so we appreciate them deeply. I want to make sure that we put their names out there because they deserve their names to be 16-year-old Jayla Jackson and 17-year-old Imani Stanton. And they're the first black female duo to win the Harvard Debate Council's annual summer debate competition at Harvard University. So shout out to them in winning today. Great job. Great job.
That's amazing. From the ATL.
From the ATL. And, I just want to say, after going to BlurCon this weekend and, appreciating all of the black nerds that are out there, those that, laid it down. I debated at Germantown Academy and at Abraham Lincoln High School, and I started out in the debate team at Boston College. So I am deep appreciation for black folk that are holding it down on that intellectual tip and doing their job to continue to show black girl and black boy excellence.
All right. Well, they should go to Missouri and debate with the committee.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. They need to go to Missouri and teach them how to debate.
They should have brought in as a witness Nicole Hannah-Jones.
Yeah, there you go. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, she said, I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna let the two winners here take my time. It's a wonderful story, and but again, like I said, I'm sure somebody's out there, blaming this on affirmative action or something. First, they get the spelling bee. Now they're taking the debates. What's next? I want my country back.
Oh.
All right, it's 6:20. We got to take a break. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks, by the way, who have not won a championship since, I don't know, like 50 years or some crazy number, in defeating the Phoenix Suns. Sorry, Chris Paul. Really thought you had a chance this time, but, man, y'all were, like, shooting some bricks when you needed to, like, really ball out. But, hey, who's not happy for Giannis? Great story. And sorry, Sixers fans, you had to watch another former Sixer help a team go win a championship. That must suck. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. It's the Power Hour.
Are you an educator looking for a life-changing opportunity? Youth Build Philly Charter School might be the home for you. Apply to Youth Build to join a family of educators dedicated to learning and growing with young people. Check out current opportunities at youthbuildphilly.org or follow them on social media at YouthBuildPHL. Join Youth Build today. Youth Build is now accepting applications for the class of 2021.
For the past 10 years, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 5 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed internet. We're working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide. And now we're committing $1 billion to reach 50 million people with the connectivity, skills, training, and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
What grows in the forest? Trees? Sure. Know what else grows in the forest? Our imagination, our sense of wonder, and our family bonds grow too. Because when we disconnect from this and connect with this, we reconnect with each other and build family memories we will carry with us forever. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. It's easy. Just put in your zip code to find family-friendly outdoor destinations near you. You'll also find guides to free activities, games, and amazing forest facts. Give the magic of the outdoors to your kids and reconnect with your family. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join Nick Taliaferro Wednesday, July 21st at 5 p.m. for a very special simulcast conversation on WURD and WVON Radio in Chicago. Hosted by WURD's own Nick Taliaferro and WVON's Matt McGill and Kimberly E. Goen on the impact of violence in Philadelphia and Chicago. That's Wednesday, July 21st at 5 p.m. exclusively on WURD Radio and WURDradio.com. Simulcast on WVON. Two of the only black-owned talk radio stations in the nation join forces for a powerful and timely conversation. This was brought to you by Einstein Healthcare Network. This is not a fad for us. We will not resume our regular programming when things die down. We're not black to help our bottom line or because it's politically correct. We're not joining a fight. This has been our fight, our message, our people. Black lives have always mattered here. We are undeniably, indefatigably, unapologetically, permanently Black Talk Media. WURD. You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news, happenings around Philadelphia, and, of course, our opinions. And we have plenty of those. Hey, just want to invite folk to remember that WURD is having a Summer Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. And this year, we're going to celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North Philly, West and South Philly. Tiffany Bacon's going to broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And our next stop is North Philly's Penrose Playground at 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue on this Friday, July 23rd. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics, meet special guests, and stand with WURD. Be a part of a movement to amplify the voice of our Black community. Show your support and join and renew your forward membership on site. Join us as we broadcast from the Recreation Center at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. WURD is showing some love this summer. So be sure to check it out, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue from 10 a.m. to noon this Friday. You should check it out and do it and participate and be a part of that.
Man, you know, I'm really interested in that conversation Nick is going to have with the Chicago station.
Yeah.
That really, I don't know that I can actually hear it.
That's today.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to hear it live, but I want to go back and listen to it at some point if I miss it. But yeah, man, it's such a needed conversation. I keep saying to folk who, you know, I think sometimes we can just really again, get so hyper focused on our own neighborhood. And Philadelphia is not the only place that does that. Everybody does that.
Right.
And think, oh man, it's crazy in Oakland. Oh, it's crazy in Atlanta. It's crazy in Detroit. It's like, you know what? If you look at the numbers of, like, the gun violence numbers in the wake of COVID, it's crazy everywhere. I mean, even for places where it was already just off the hook, it's like on steroids now. And so what an important way of using these Black-owned radio stations and media outlets. I can't tell you, I mean, you think about things like the Philadelphia Tribune that got sitting here, stories that you would have never heard anywhere else. I mean, one of their front page stories from Sunday is Dwight Evans rolling through West Philly with the head of the Small Business Administration.
Right.
Like, who knew that person was in town? Right? And walking through West Philly and, hearing from Black-owned business owners. So, again, I only say that to reiterate the importance of Black media and our support of it. So, shout out to WURD and leading the way in that conversation. Yeah, I was saying about the Bucks as we went to break, as they, won, again, it's got to hurt for Philly once again, like watching a team like Milwaukee get there, where Drew Holiday, who at one point was kind of the hope of Philly, drafted by the Sixers back, I think, in 08, 09 somewhere, and traded away. Now he's a champion. Same thing happened with, the other AI, Iguodala, where he did that with the Warriors repeatedly, and the Sixers look like, oh, that just sucks. And now, you kind of just have this impending feeling that that's what's going to happen with Ben Simmons, where eventually he's going to leave. Yeah, everybody's giving him a hard time. And then you'll look up 5 years later, and he's like got 2 or 3 rings with somebody, and everybody's looking like, I don't know, Philly. I feel for you. Well, yeah, kind of. I talk trash, man. It's a sports thing. What is it if you're not talking trash? I got some folk I need to call this morning. Jeff Bezos made it back safely.
Okay. Twitter and Facebook are having a field day with his spaceship.
Bro, I said, so when I said it yesterday, I kind of judged by the fact that there was not a lot of movement and traction on Facebook and YouTube Live in the comments, that most people hadn't seen the ship. Remember, I asked you to go look at it, and I said, I mean, bro, Jeff, if you're gonna do this like and really turn it into a tourist thing, you got to find a different design for your ship. I'm just saying, some folk are not gonna be comfortable riding into space in that. Like religious grounds, whatever. I don't know. Some folk is bad. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I want to go, but not even for free.
Oh, the comments yesterday were just merciless. Merciless.
But again, could you just hear the engineers designing it? Like, am I the only one here? Am I the only one here? Like, we know. We told him repeatedly, but this is what he wants. We're going to be ridiculed, right? Hey.
They said at least Branson's look like a spaceship.
Mackenzie Bezos was like, I told y'all. I told you he got issues. That's why I bailed.
I'm like, wow.
But wait. But wait. So he comes back and makes more controversy, right? So again, if it's not bad enough that it's just a horrible look in the middle of a pandemic as folk are coming down the other side trying to just get their financial lives in order, that he's like out just joyriding. Land's talking about, fill her up, let's do it again, right? He then thanks his employees at Amazon for making it possible. He leaves out the Washington Post people, apparently. But he also thanks every single Amazon customer, to which people got really pissed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I saw the comments. He could have paid each of his employees 10 times what he was paying them, and they still wouldn't have gotten to the cost of what it went for them to go into space. Oh, it was brutal, man. It was brutal.
Well, I do like the fact that that he took the what her name is, Wally I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm blanking on her last name, but she would have been a woman astronaut, and NASA would not let her. She was trained, but NASA would not let her go up in space 40 something years ago because she's a woman. And so now in her 60 years later, it was actually 60 years ago. So 60 years later, she was able to go up, and I thought that was actually, really nice and well done. But it's still, bro, you just still can't wash this away. This is not a good look. And he comes down and gives away $200 million for charity or for whatever, and he gives it to two people. And one of the people that he gives it to, and says, do whatever you want with it, is CNN's Van Jones.
Who's there interviewing him, isn't he?
I don't know, but he's like, I don't know if Van interviewed him or not, but what do you, I mean, is that a stunt? I mean, what do you make of that?
I mean, Van has a nonprofit program that he runs that is, I forgot what the name of it is. I've heard about it before. I mean, Van is, he's interesting, kind of controversial in his own way. But, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I guess he's trying to make Mackenzie look bad because, she's giving away all the money. she's trying to give away all the money.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you. Somebody just texted. Yeah, it does. The spaceship does remind you of Dr. Evils from Austin Powers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You never saw Dr. Evils' spaceship?
I never watched Austin Powers. It just seemed kind of corny.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
What? Blurred? You're a Blurred and you never saw Austin Powers?
No, sir. Other than the fact that Beyonce was in it, I didn't really watch it.
You are missing 3 of the most hilarious movies ever. But, yeah, I don't know what to make of this $100 million gift, but it just seems like a publicity stunt. And, for everybody.
He's trying to outdo Mackenzie. He's got to figure out a way to, she's getting all the publicity for giving away all the money. He's got to figure something out.
Dude, she's giving billions away.
Oh, I know.
You're going to come out and give $200 million. Bro, it probably costs more in gas to get that spaceship up in the air.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Jeff Bezos, he's done a lot of good. I got to say, I mean, what would the world have been like during COVID without Amazon? And thank God for those drivers who put their lives on the lines and, delivered, medicine and food and products to people who were just terrified to go outside. But, man, your downside is really bad.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know, yesterday was just such a conflicting day of messaging for him. So we'll let his PR people worry about that. But that's just, apparently Jeff being Jeff. So Rob Garland says, Van Jones left Ella Baker ages ago. Oh, the Ella Baker Center. Maybe he can pay for Kim K's law degree.
Well, she is studying. So in California, you can become a lawyer without going to law school, but you have to do an internship for several years with a lawyer. And so she is actually interning at Van Jones's law firm to become a lawyer.
Wow. Who, Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. She's been doing it for years.
Good God. Let's go to the next story.
Okay.
I just can't even. Oh, Lord.
So can I just get a quick shout out? I want to congratulate Troy K. Gore, who is the deputy fire chief for Philadelphia, but also now the head football coach at Cheltenham High School. He's the first African-American coach there at Cheltenham, and we went to high school together. So at Lincoln. And so just a shout out to Troy and Deputy Chief Troy and all that he is doing to make young folk and get them prepared to take on and tackle the world, not just football, but to take on the world. And for protecting Philadelphians every single day with his job at the fire department.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. So listen, in Philly, and we've been served a letter as a city and county by Doug Mastriano's committee, state senator. And I know we talked about this yesterday.
Insurrectionist. He's the insurrectionist.
Yeah, but I had a chance to go back and actually like read the full stories and the connection between this attempt to audit Philadelphia's election results from the 2020 election, and the connection with what's going on in Arizona in Maricopa County right now.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal, right? So if Philadelphia does not turn over the records, and I mean, bro, he's asking for everything.
Everything. Oh yeah.
They want
It's not
the
just
voting.
Philly, it's 3 counties. It's Philadelphia, Montgomery, and I think it's Allegheny.
No, York.
York. Okay, York.
No,
oh,
Philadelphia, York.
Where the governor's from, right? Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And then another smaller Republican one now. They may have changed it, but as of right now, at least the reporting from a couple of days ago is Philly, York, and some little small county as well. Now, they did this actually in a more quiet way back in February, and they actually convinced a small county, Fulton County, to turn over their records and to allow them to look at their machines, right? Now, they have 3 election officials like we do. The one Democrat opposed it, and when the Democrat was not present, they came in and went through the machines anyway, this outside vendor. And so there are a couple of like outside vendors. One is the Cyber Ninjas. That's Ninja. I know what it may sound like I said. Cyber Ninjas.
Mhm.
And the other one is a Westchester-based company. The name is kind of failing right now, but so they did the investigation. Now, Dominion, who owns all of these voting machines, has been in the news a lot, which is actually owned by like Republicans, right?
Right.
Which is it's really crazy that we're here because I think most Democrats had fear and concern before the election that will Dominion, just throw the election to Trump and fix their machines, which they did not do. Dominion said in the case in Fulton County, because you have basically broken the terms of agreement, they're saying, yes, you can review the equipment. Of course you can, it's your right. But there are protocols that have to happen. And we, the owner of the machines that you are leasing, have to be a part of it. So they hit Fulton County with like a 20, this is a very small county. There are only like 8,000 votes in the entire election. So that tells you the size. They hit them with like 25K and said, your regular lease is 40,000. So you still got to pay that, but now you got to pay another 25,000, and you can't use those machines for any upcoming election.
Right, because
you got to
now tamper with. Yeah, absolutely.
You messed up the chain of custody, is what they
That's
said.
right.
So in Philly, what they want is for us to turn over like millions of dollars of voter equipment to send to them to let them go through, I don't know, maybe somebody put spyware in it or whatever, and then send them back. That's not going to work. That means,
that's not
and the state Senate will not pay for it. So here's the deadline. July 31, if Philly does not comply, they will seek subpoenas and try to physically take our voting machines to some place, wherever it is, to do an audit of the election, which will ultimately cost the city of Philadelphia upwards of like $40 million.
So, first of all, I think if I remember correctly, both the governor and I think Philadelphia and the other counties are suing the state over this as well. And have actually asked for Supreme Court intervention in this matter too. So this is actually very problematic, right? Because you cannot trust these people who are doing this in much the same way that the company that did the audit in Arizona had never done an election audit before. And they had people in there, including somebody that ran for office, that was in there reviewing as an official counter on behalf of this company as a reviewer in Arizona. So this is deeply flawed. It's a very problematic piece. It is totally partisan, and I totally agree with you. You do not know what's going to happen to those machines and once those people get a hold of it and what they're about. I am not putting the Republicans or the Trumpikins, I should say the Trumpikins, beyond anything at this point as they get themselves prepared for the 2024 election.
Wow. All right, it's 6:40. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back, continue with this. Give us your thoughts about this. Put it in the chat or anything that we talked about this morning on Facebook and YouTube. In fact, today, Facebook, you got to keep up. YouTube is kicking your butt today. They're awake and they're on their computers typing away. This is the Power Hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll return.
Hey, WURD family, did you hear? It's official. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance just announced the new age for colon cancer screenings has been officially lowered to age 45 for everyone. If you are 45 or older, it's time to get screened. Go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test. Did you know colon cancer is largely preventable with on-time screening? And there's a 90% survival rate when caught early. African Americans are 20% more likely to get colon cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. So for the next 3 months, you can go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test. A screening navigator will contact you to ask a few questions and help you get screened. It's that simple. Again, just go to WURDradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner, and fill out the form to request your free at-home screening test. Go to Know today.
Do you have what it tastes to solve Hers Flavor Mix Mystery? One chip, 3 classic Hers flavors, thousands of possible combinations. Pick up a bag of Hers Flavor Mix Mystery and make your guess online today. Your guess could win you $10,000 and a year's supply of Hers. Visit Hers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more info on how to enter. Solve the mystery. Break out the Hers. No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 United States, DC, 18 years of age and older. Ends 8/31/21. To enter and for official rules, including odds and prize descriptions, visit campaign.rtm.com/HersFlavorMixMystery/ Void where prohibited.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure a My Social Security account is a part of your plan. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The WURD Radio Newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting WURDradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio Newsletter. Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
This report sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Southbound 95 at a jam now this morning. Academy down the bridge. There is an accident off to the left right in that construction area. Once you pass that little slow Allegheny through Girard, northbound 95, some slowing. Betsy Rosston Bridge, right lane block there with ongoing construction. Line Expressway westbound Lake Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill westbound Broad to pass Young, a little slow through that work zone. PA Turnpike, Blue Route 476 in pretty good shape. 55 northbound, heavy from Deptford into 42 now. Looking for a job? Contact Express Employment Professionals and be part of a national hiring event. With one application, Express connects you with multiple employers and never charges a fee. Go to ExpressPros.com, find your nearest office, and call Express today. For more traffic information, log on to SIGAlert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
A warm and muggy morning with lots of hazy sunshine. Then this afternoon, strong storms, potentially severe thunderstorms, and a high of 88 degrees. Tonight, it all clears out. Gets really comfortable for Thursday and Friday. 65 tomorrow morning, 84 the high, with lots of sunshine and a pleasant breeze out of the northwest. Another beautiful day Friday. The humidity stays low, up to 85 Friday afternoon. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hours. Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. Hey, I just want to address a couple things. So, Robert Garland, I went and checked. Kim Kardashian says she is not dating Van Jones, and Van Jones says they're not dating either, although he said the rumors that he was dating her or that she was dating him has actually gotten him a lot of dates. So, I don't know why anybody would want to date somebody after a Kardashian. But anyway, just to let you know that. So that was a piece. And You know, Sheila Booker said Philadelphia County is dealing with overwhelming gun violence, lower than necessary vaccination rates, poverty and homelessness, the need for police reform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We ain't got time for investigations into non-existent voter fraud. I totally agree with you, which is why I believe we should start a campaign for Philadelphia to secede from the state of Pennsylvania. It's my personal opinion. I'm like, Pennsylvania don't show Philadelphia no love. And so even though we're the city that loves you back, we keep getting shunned and keep getting ostracized by our larger partner in this region, the rest of the state of Pennsylvania. So I'm like, look, let's just take the 4 suburban counties, Philadelphia, let's secede from the rest of the state, and then watch them try to make it without the economic engine that Philadelphia and the suburban counties are for the rest of the state. So I totally agree that we don't have time for this nonsense. Doug Mastriani should have been thrown out of office for being a part of that insurrection in the first place. He actually brought buses of people down to the rally and to the insurrection. He should not be in office. He's an embarrassment to the state of Pennsylvania. He's an embarrassment to our political institutions in the state. He needs to go. He's running for governor. He shouldn't be governor. He shouldn't even have a shot at being governor. And this is just the way that he is trying to use at this particular moment in time to be able to solidify his base and get votes together so that he can get himself illegally elected as governor of the state of Pennsylvania. Telling you we should just secede from the rest of the state and tell them to go somewhere.
Well, you know, yeah, be careful how you speak about your potential next governor.
Please. Won't be my governor.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, we laughed about Trump.
He wasn't my president.
Yeah, well, he was. That didn't stop him from doing all the damage.
He was the president. He just wasn't my president. That's
well, yours or not. He was writing those executive orders and impacting our lives, whether we acknowledged him or not. And likewise, I mean, you know, these folk are, you know, look, the dog whistles are not for us. And these actions are not for us. And, you know, and so while we live in Philly and we're comfortable, we're safe, and we're like, oh, this ain't going nowhere, that ain't the real point. That's not right? Like you said, this is a political stunt to ingratiate himself with the Trump base. Look what I did to them. I made them accountable. I brought them to their knees. They had to turn their machines over, and I made. Do you think anybody in Pennsylvania who voted for Trump cares if Philadelphia has to spend an extra $40 million? When we had to like argue over getting an extra $80 million for the issue of gun violence, right. $40 million is a significant number in Philadelphia, obviously. And do you honestly think any of them care one moment are going to lose one night's sleep if we got to pay for that? Of course not. They could care less. In fact, it'll just make people want to vote for him more. You know? Yep. He's got guts. I like Mastriano.
Look,
telling you.
We did the poll. 70% of young black men voted for Donald Trump. That's a problem.
I'm telling you. And, you know, I think, you know, at a certain point, we've got to deal with, you know, we've got to really deal with the issue of the way in which gerrymandering has allowed these states that can easily elect Democratic governors, that can easily elect Democratic senators, and then you look around and the House and the Senate or the Assembly, depending on, you know, your state, is overwhelmingly Republican.
Yep.
They have like really mastered the art of just change. I mean, so for example, the reason Doug Mastriano was able to do this is he is the committee chair of some like literally do nothing committee. It's a subcommittee, not even a committee. The subcommittee that people are questioning doesn't even have the power to do what he is trying to do. He's going to test it to see. But on the committee of 10, there are 7 Republicans and 3 Democrats.
Wow.
The Democrats said, look, what do y'all want us to do? They said, we're going to make speeches. This is what they literally said. They said, oh, we're going to make some great speeches now. We're going to give them the business on the floor, and we're going to do some finger pointing and finger waving, and we're going to do all of that stuff, but pretty much he's going to have his way with this.
Yeah.
The question will come with the courts, whether the courts step in to stop it, But this is a real issue.
Absolutely. This is legit. This is a problem.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We got to figure this part out because, again, we seem to understand very well the importance of the White House and the governor's mansion and the Senate seats and the Congress. But the state piece is one that we have not taken serious enough. They're the ones writing these voter ID laws and these restrictive voter, plans. They're the ones who are making it difficult for us to fund public education. They're the ones that say to the largest economic driver in the state, Philadelphia, what you can do, what taxes you can raise and what you cannot raise. How dare you? I mean, how dare you with your broke self?
I mean, look, Pennsylvania is one elected official away from being Texas or Georgia or Florida, right? I mean, literally, the only thing that's saving us right now is the governor.
Scary.
And if these Republicans have their way and they do what they want to do with this audit, first of all, they're going to audit every race that any of them is in from now on. And it's going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars. Second of all, it's also going to come back and, like you said, we don't know what they're going to do with the machines. We don't know these people that they're hiring to do this work. We can't trust that. So, then all of a sudden the elections really are there is a big doubt over the election process. I mean, it might be better to go back to paper, just to be on the safe side.
All right, listen. Well, somebody raised a question on YouTube, Nikki O'Tim. Where's the money for this recount coming from? So, in the Fulton County story that I talked about, WHYY did a great story on it. They actually said that in the Fulton recount, when the question was raised to the local county commissioner, like, who paid for this? He said, I don't know. The county election official, his official response back in February was, I don't know who paid for it. They just said people in the state legislature, they want to do this. We felt like we should do it for transparency's sake. And I kind of get that. You know what I mean? I do. I kind of get why it was a small county. And they're like, well.
Yeah, but wait a minute. It's a small Republican county, right? So
right.
Instead of going after one of the bigger Republican counties, you go after the smallest one you can find, which is going to be the cheapest one possible. And we're like, we'll cover the cost on this one. And then, the other ones, y'all got to pay for it.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of test this out. And so I get why a local official is like, well, look, we already know this. The county went for Trump like 6-1. So, like, there's no impropriety here. Go right ahead and look. But they never even thought about that question, Nikki O'Tim. Like, who's paying for this? They're like, we never really got into the weeds on that.
Well,
so
I mean, if they don't know who's paying for it, evidently they aren't.
Well, but what they are paying for is their new machines that they didn't realize. Oh, you just broke the terms of agreement with Dominion, and you have to pay for that part. They're like, whoa. The state came in and did this. Yeah, the state ain't paying for that though, bruh. Fork over that check unless you want to do what Bishop just said and go back to paper ballots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rock, scissors, paper. Who you got? I'll tell you. It's just, I mean, look, it is something that obviously we can't, fix today, but we need to bring it to people's attention. In the next 10 days, we will know whether or not, obviously Philly's not going to comply, but we'll know whether or not subpoenas are issued and what the next steps will be from there. But again, a part of the ongoing saga of trying to keep Donald Trump and his base happy, well, keeping Trump happy, thereby keeping his base happy. And we're kind of stuck with this for a while. That's it.
This is problematic. And we got a real challenge ahead of us. I'm hoping that the lawsuits and everybody, stops this nonsense right now. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's a witch hunt, and there are no witches to be found in this particular circumstance right at this moment in time. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for today. We appreciate you checking us out here on the Power Hour. Thank you, Dr. Tyler, for doing what you do each and every day. Thank you, Kwesa, for holding down the boards, making sure that we are live and giving us our daily traffic and weather report. We appreciate everybody that's checked us out on the air, through the app. Everybody check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. We also appreciate all of you that are checking us out each and every day and just supporting our program here on the WURD radio station. Now stay tuned for Wake Up with WURD with special guest host Brother Shamari, and we'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to start this all over again. Family, do us, yourselves, and everyone else a favor. Go out, change the damn world, because if you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
Just in case I have to run.